miserable, but no issue at all. But conditions will be quite testing today. We had a lot of rain here on Sunday, nice dry day yesterday, but with this amount of rain falling, Bernard, you're going to need a horse to really handle testing going and stay the distance of their respective race very well.
So what do you mean by testing going, Fran? So
this is deep, that's going in really, really softly, and this would be what I call soft to heavy jumps ground, and if it keeps raining through the day, in particular when you get 1 or 2 races out of the way, the horse have made tracks in it. If it keeps raining, it starts filling up with water. It just gets deep, hard work for the horse to get out. Some horses will get a look at maybe in the way around, handle it better, they're a bit stronger than other types. It really is a horse for course type thing, whether it's too wet or too dry.
Okay, and so how would we know what they like? Looking back at previous form, see who's operated on this kind of ground before?
Exactly, and I think this is where Irish horse is going to have a good advantage. We had a very wet winter at home, as you know, so to be more accustomed perhaps to running on ground like this than the UK trained runners, but you're somewhat stepping into the unknown because the competition levels are so much higher here today.
Yeah, and we're live on TikTok, but you're going to give us France 5 to follow every day.
Exactly, yeah, 5 to follow through the week and every day, and hopefully the viewers at home can have a bit of fun with it. I've
What's the 5 to follow today?
Kicked off in race 1, Mystical Power, trained by Willie Mullins. I think it's going to be a huge day for Willie Mullins today. He's obviously got multiple runners in all these races, but Mystical Power is damn any power you'd remember.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Famous for falling at the last one day, and then obviously won the Champion Hurl afterwards, and this is her first foal, and he's very, very good. I think he's a big player in the first race. The second race, Ilite Thomas, you've seen him here yesterday, the grey horse. Danny Mullins, of course, takes the ride, and I think he's a big player in the Arkle Chase. And the third selection comes in the Boodles Juvenile Hurl. We'll be catching up with Neil Durkin maybe later on. They've got an interesting runner in the race, but Lantry Lady, trained by Henry de Bromhead, I think she's every chance of running a big race on testing ground.
Ridden by Rachel?
No, she's abandoned my Jack Kennedy takes the ride for Henry de Bromhead.
Good replacement.
Yeah, and I'd say the last time Jack had a ride for Henry nearly was winning the Gold Cup on Minilendo, so they have a good record here together.
Okay, so that's 3. What's the 4th one?
Milan Tino could be winner for France in that Boodles race. Trained in France, owned by JP McManus. He's had 2 really good runs at this track in January. I think he's a big player. And the final one, Embassy Gardens in the final race of the day. It's named after late Maury Mullins, trained by Willie Mullins. It'd be a very appropriate winner.
It's for Sean Mulryan, is it?
It is, yeah.
Okay. So there you're 5, and you're going to give us a 5 every day?
Yes, so hopefully the 5 are lucky now. I didn't factor in the rain as much, but I still wouldn't swap them.
Come here, you said the horses don't mind it. Maybe some of the humans do. For a rugby player, they wouldn't do anything in the morning of the match as such. They might have a little stretch or walk, but for the riders, they're out there exercising, yeah? That's common. Yeah,
it is common, and obviously with the horse being based inside here, you just like to get out and stretch your legs. But for the rider, it's a good thing. You know, you get out, you get a little blow into yourself. It just takes your mind off things, and you limber up if you like. A lot of jump jockeys wouldn't struggle with the weight, but we did meet Keith Donoghue yesterday. He's riding at his bottom weight, so once he is done riding out this morning, I can see him going off for a run, maybe to a treadmill in the gym with a morning like this, trying to knock off the last couple of pounds.
Brilliant. So there's another lot coming out here. This looks... It's Gordon Elliott's lot, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a look at Gordon's yesterday, and Mortimer here today. I believe he's going to have 2 lots, and the majority of his team are here. He's got a fantastic lineup of horses through the week, and a number of his horses will enjoy the rain soft conditions here.
And so would you know, Fran, by looking at these walk, what kind of ground they might like?
Yeah, we'll get a look there. See number 10 there. If you can focus on number 10, we'll get a look at him maybe, for example, or number 2 even. They're big, strong national hunt, what we call national hunt type horses that have a big shoulder, and it's more about the strength of them, Bernard. And big, the heavier the individual, usually the more they handle deep, holding, testing ground more so than the light, physically lighter horses tend to handle drier conditions better.
And you said national hunt, so these are horses that are pretty much bred to jump.
Yes, yeah, exactly, and it can work both ways. A lot of them can be flat bred as well and just progress to the jumps, just end up being a bit later developing than what they were bought for initially and end up over jumps. But in the main, it's jumping type horses don't get to track till they're 4 or 5 years old.
Okay. So it's a big team of horses there. And with the riders, you know, the jockeys who are riding today, I know that they ride out this morning because they're over here and the horses need a bit of exercise. But typically would a jockey ride out the morning of a race if he's back in Ireland or if they were UK based?
Yeah, definitely. Most mornings, and it's important to get a feel for your connections, if you like. You know, the feedback, the interaction with the trainer and jockey, to ride the horse and exercise, see how they're developing and coming along, and it's a feedback for the trainer and also for you. If you've got a choice of which horse to ride in a race, you can obviously ride them in the mornings, get a feel, and then make your decision. Hopefully it's the right one. It doesn't often work out that way though.
Sure. So these horses are stabled in the yard. These are all Gordon's. They came over probably Sunday or some of them yesterday. They've walked down here to the track, and now they're just getting a little bit of a warm up in terms of going around a circle here.
Yeah, and you can see Gordon Elliott just walking there into the middle of the ring with his assistant trainers and a couple of owners. Noel Moore there, of course. He's got a number of horses with Gordon Beckton stud, and Gordon will get his list out. He's going to go through his horses. He'll make a plan. Maybe a couple of them will need a little bit more than the rest of them. The ones running today and tomorrow maybe want less than maybe the horse running Thursday and Friday. Okay,
so we're live here on TikTok, and this is the Gordon Elliott string, just getting ready to do a little bit of more strenuous exercise, but this is the final part of their warm-up, is it?
It is, yeah. He's just going to get them organised. He'll probably pair them up. Maybe he'll send them off in individual groups, maybe 5 or 6 horses, or spread them out a bit more. And he'll give instructions to the riders what he'd like them to do.
And you still ride out, Fran?
No, not
not a wet day like today anyway.
I don't miss on a day like today anyway, Bernard. Definitely not. No, it's something that I really loved when I was doing it, but when I injured my neck, that was the end of that, and unfortunately I can't sit in a horse again, but it was good while it lasted.
Sure. So it must be a serious operation for the likes of Gordon now, trying to organise his riders, but obviously keep an eye, chatting to owners, keeping them happy, keeping them calm, building them up into what's a huge day for them.
Indeed, and that's it. And it's big. The logistics, getting the horse over, getting the team here, as you said, keeping your clients happy. The owners, they've got hopes, dreams, expectations, and there's 28 winners this week. There's going to be a lot of losers, so you got to manage that as well.
Yeah, it's incredible. Some buzz though. There must be some buzz having an owner or being an owner of a horse that's maybe has a chance in Cheltenham.
Oh, the build up to it, and it goes on for weeks ahead of the race, and all the talking is nearly over. But you can just see, in comparison yesterday, the amount of people that are here now this morning, there's a real sense that it's just all ready to kick off.
This is a special part of the day, isn't it? Just being out here early in the morning, seeing him, obviously going off, getting a bit of breakfast, getting the suit on, and coming back in, and hopefully your horse does the business.
Exactly, and if you get a run for your money, if an owner, a big thing at Cheltenham also, if an owner gets into the first 4 positions to get into that famous winners enclosure, okay, you're disappointed you didn't win, but if you get into the first 4 at Cheltenham, you've had a good day.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be here last year when Annie Power and Cork Constitution won, and the place just was hopping.
That's
right, amazing
yeah.
atmosphere. You could nearly feel the emotion when Rachel and Honeysuckle, sorry,
and everything that went with it, with Henry de Bromhead, and everything that happened, like, it was amazing. That day the sun came out, it's like it was written in the stars, that result.
Yeah. So is there any order to these horses coming up? Is it just literally Gordon wants to get out at this time, he comes up, you see Gavin Cromwell and a few other lots coming here?
Yeah, and it's kind of consistent with what we've seen yesterday, isn't it? The timings. Gavin Cromwell came out first yesterday, followed by Gordon Elliott. Willie Mullins will be the last to come out, and that's Willie's style, and his second lot will be the last one, and the Gallops probably at 10 o'clock. It's whatever suits the trainer, suits the team, and Willie has often said that they'll work equally as good at 10 o'clock in the morning as they will at 8 o'clock, so doesn't seem to do any harm.
Like humans. So we're live here on TikTok, and we're just seeing the horses exercise before obviously racing today. How many of these horses will run today? I
would think Gordon Elliott probably has 15 runners here today. 60 through the week, so I'll average 12 to 15 runners a day. So a number of these horses, we'll try and identify 1 or 2 through the morning, will just be out, and you'll probably know by how little they're doing in comparison to the horse that are here that they're likely to be running today.
So from an Irish point of view, numerically, it's Willie and Gordon are by far the biggest.
Yes, Henry de Bromhead would have a good team, but Willie would have in around 60 horse here, Gordon probably the same.
Okay.
Huge effort to move them, not only the horse themselves, but all the equipment that goes with it, the logistics of it. It's a big operation.
So when they're finished here, Fran, they'll go back, eat up, wash them down, and then just wait until whatever, an hour before the race, they'll start to get them prepped, will they?
They will, and that's the thing. Just dry them off, get them nice and relaxed, and they will just let them down, get them to eat. Drinking is important. We spoke about hydration yesterday, and that's a massive thing with them as well, that they're settled into their environment. And they got to deal with 2 race day noise. If they're not running today, they're going to hear the noise from the stable yard of the race day as well. So that can
spook a few.
Exactly. Well, it can be a good thing or a bad thing. They can get tuned into it, but some of them might just get a little bit on their toes.
And I think yesterday in the afternoon, Patrick Mullins was bringing all their horses down to walk around the parade ring. Obviously, it was a lot quieter, but just get them used to that, I suppose, amphitheatre.
Exactly.
and help with the preparation, so they don't get a little bit on their toes today.
That's it, and they get a look at everything that's going around, get used to their environment, because they're creatures of habit. They like their own environment. They like the routine of getting out at certain times. So when that's changed, you got to work around them a little bit to an extent.
Yeah, sure. It's starting to get busy now, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, a lot of horses arriving in. We can see them all just begin to trot around. They'll go from a trot into canter, which is a slow gallop, if you like, and it's all about just limbering them up. All the hard training is done. I suppose from a rugby perspective, you do your camp, if you like, before you go into tournament. That's all done for the horse up until now.
Yeah, so on rugby you would taper off, even in the week of a match. Monday would usually be recovery because you played Saturday. Tuesday would be a heavy day. Wednesday heavy day, and then usually Thursday off. A light captain's run on a Friday, and then play Saturday. But yeah, it's fascinating. Also, you talked about people having routines. That's a huge part of rugby as well. Just having consistency in your week, and just get for athletes, and I suppose for riders and horses, just that lack of shocks and lack of surprises is massive.
Yeah, indeed, exactly. And when you've got your routine, everything flows better, isn't it? You've got your structure to your day. And I had a couple of questions in here, Bernard. A viewer wants to know, you mentioned that trainers tend to come out in a certain order. Is that agreed between them time-wise? We were talking about this yesterday. It's down to the individual trainer, really. Okay, you're sharing a communal gallop here this morning. You don't want to be out when it's too busy, but it's nearly a case of first up, best dressed, if you like. Right. And it's just whatever suits the individual trainer and their systems.
And no English horses will come out here and exercise. They will all come from their yards this morning, will they?
More than likely, but Cork Rambler, for example, he's trained in Scotland by Lucinda Russell. She's probably far away from Cheltenham as the Irish trainers are in a way. She could be 6 hours, 7 hours in a horse box. So I'd imagine they would come down yesterday, and they would be likely to exercise them this morning as well.
Okay, right. We got Kieran Stokes here, I think.
Yeah, one of the most
great
popular
rugby man as well.
Popular men in racing, of course. Kieran,
we almost have a good front row here.
Here we jump around. Put him in the middle.
Wind up there, Frank.
I think it's struggle to contain you.
The way you were moving last night, Fran, I tell you, no problem. You'd avoid us. Easy enough. How are you, buddy?
Good.
Yeah.
Good soft morning, isn't
it?
it?
Yeah. Where'd you get in?
I just about got a flight at 12 o'clock yesterday, but I skinned my teeth. I got clamped yesterday. I had a big hullabaloo, but I got there anyway. Through thick or thin. Yeah, we made it.
Here for the week?
Here for the week, yeah, and maybe you taxer on Saturday as well.
Oh wow, good man.
Yeah, a purist.
Okay, very good. Come here, what does Cheltenham mean to you?
Sure, it's the be all and end all from a horse racing point of view. If you can come here and I suppose land a touch or have the crack with everyone, it all just accumulates to the festival here.
Sure. And what horse are you looking forward to most this week?
Today, it's today already. Meeting of the Waters in the Ultima. I can't wait for that to run. Been following his progress throughout the year, and hopefully he's ready and ready to rock and roll today.
Okay. And have you an interest in a horse, an ownership?
If you were right, yeah. From Mares and Foals, I have a share in with a few buddies of mine. It's good crack. Deciding what sires to go to, and then I have a little bit of an interest in the pin hooking thing with another buddy of mine.
So what's pin hooking, Kieran?
Pin hooking is where you can buy a foal for a flat. You can sell it as a yearling, or else you could. For what I'm doing is the national hunt, where I have more of an interest, is buy as a foal and sell as a 3-year-old.
Okay.
So you have to wait 2 years.
Right.
But it's interesting. I'm doing it with my buddy, and we're kind of our families are helping out, and it's got all crack seeing the family progress either side. And we got lucky with 2 sires in Blue Brazil, Jukebox Jury, and
so good sires. They're popular sires at the moment.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you say the family progress, do you mean there's something related to it?
Exactly.
To the track, and that increases the value. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Brilliant.
The dam side, yeah, so you'll be finding that.
And a dream, you're selling a dream on, then you're hoping that the horse you're selling ends up here in Cheltenham with running in a race, let alone winning one.
Over here, lads, Fran.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, and then even like that, chap, my auntie she'd have a decent enough breeding operation, and she'd be following horses all their careers and screaming and roaring like they're their own.
Yeah. And so, Kieran, did you grow up with horses? Yeah.
I did, yeah. So my aunt and my father had a good interest. Yeah. And I was in the school in Mick Winters. He was my father had a horse with him. He was the first winner for Inside the Rails with Nick Keane. A horse called Johnny Gonzalez. And we went around the country with him. It was good fun.
And do you come down to Gallops most mornings?
No, this is
No,
my
first
first
time.
morning here now, actually. So I picked a nice one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did indeed. And you rugby men, you don't wear hats at all, no?
I don't want to get the hair messy. I have a big day. I have a big day today. I have a big day. I have a big day today. We'll turn around there, Kieran.
Forgot the
Yeah,
hat.
forgot the hat.
And Kieran, the build-up for all the connections, you see the anticipation with the trainers, owners, jockeys, it's a huge week for them.
Incredible, yeah. Just another little case. A buddy of mine, Podge Butler, has a runner in the Coral Cup, and he's a very small operation. And they have a syndicate called the Red Strand Syndicate, and they're on an amazing journey, and they've made it here.
Wow.
To the chronicle
Okay.
of racing, and you know, I think he's 3 or 4 horses. Just
Right.
and just talking to him and just seeing his journey is exciting, incredible for me.
So you know some of those that syndicate, do you?
I do,
Yeah.
yeah. The boys from West Cork, yeah,
Right.
they're good. They're good men. They're good old gallery. They'll bring a bit of atmosphere. What you want, colour, to the whole thing.
So it'll be like a holiday for them this week.
I don't know. It's like euphoria. They're in a dream.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, they're all there for the last 6 months. I'd say when they're in the shower, they're thinking about it. When they're in the when they're with their missus, they're probably thinking about it.
They won't admit to that.
over here.
They won't admit to that. That's yeah. It must be some buzz to have a horse running over the 4 days here.
Unreal,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever had one run here?
Not quite.
Not quite,
no.
yeah.
Kind
Next
of
year.
a ghost kind of thing. My good buddy of mine had a winner here. It was good fun.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah. So lived the true thing. Yeah.
And what do you do at night, Kieran? Bit of dinner?
No, I go
Rest
home.
up.
I read. There's good books actually in,
Yeah.
in the house that you're
That's
in
great.
from here. So English poetry and that kind of thing. Yeah.
You always love that, yeah.
It-
Good to see you haven't changed.
Shakespeare country anyway.
Other than that, if you get sick of the books, then there's good old bars. There's good
Yeah.
atmosphere. There's good.
Yeah.
Like in the last year, we had a sing song in the back of the
Queens, I saw you.
back there, the Queens,
Yeah, I saw you.
that
Yeah.
was good fun.
That was
You were
good.
there.
Yeah, you were lifting up the shark.
You got some JCB.
Obviously, Hewick. Shark's telling everyone. Hewick can't be bet.
Well, the ground is going against poor York,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
There's rain there and there's no drying out.
Yeah.
It's not going to suit. poor
Yeah, so
York.
Hewick likes better ground.
Yeah, he likes
Yeah.
the good fast ground.
Good
yeah.
fast ground.
Yeah.
So this rain won't help him. Yeah.
No, it won't be ideal for him. You follow racing, obviously today, Champion Hurl Day, Stateman looks a banker, would you agree? Or
I would, yeah. He looks like I suppose a moral certainty as you can get. I thought he's coming here on the back of improvement from the last couple of seasons as well. So I can't see the horse be like Willie Mullen's horses like soft ground as well. They're used their gallops are at home. They're soft, deep gallops. So the horses are kind of used to it, and that'll transform here.
Yeah.
They'll transform
Okay.
here today. No problem.
So you think Willie Mullins have a big week?
I do indeed,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, as big a week as he can have.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
okay.
I think, in fairness to the man. Yeah.
Brilliant. We'll let you go. We might see you read a bit of poetry later on,
Yeah.
knock around. But best
I'll
of luck.
recite you a bit of Shakespeare there, hopefully.
Right.
Alright.
Go on.
Thanks,
Kieran,
Kieran.
thanks very
Good.
much. Yeah,
Thanks a lot
good
to
seeing you.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Kieran, have a good week.
Yeah.
All the
We'll
best.
get you a hat, don't worry. So,
Alright, thanks.
Bernard had a couple of questions
Okay.
into the group. Gaelic Warrior, we spoke about
Yeah.
Willie Mullins' horse today. He's one of the main players for the Arkle. Not sure if you've seen him at Leopardstown at the
Yeah.
Dublin Racing
He
Festival.
jumps the wrong way, does it? He jumps right, is it? Or right,
Yes,
or just
yeah,
left?
yeah.
So explain that to me.
So obviously Cheltenham is a left-handed track. Horses are leading it this way, so this horse has a tendency to go, when he's going into a jump, he sees the jump, he goes that way.
Okay.
He goes right, so theoretically he's losing ground. And when
Yeah.
he is losing ground, he's using more energy than he should do. Obviously if he's going right-handed, he'd be more inclined to
Okay.
save energy and make ground. So Cheltenham, you're on the turn a lot, it's undulating, you're up and down hills, and if you're not doing things in the right way, you'll pay a price for that at death. Now he's a very good horse, but if he can give away
Yeah.
lengths like that and still win a big
So from
big
memory,
performance.
he was very impressive with Punchdown, which is a right-handed track, and then Leopardstown he underperformed, which is left-handed track. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is a left-handed track. So, but is it quite unusual for a horse to jump markedly left or right?
Yeah, they have their tendencies, and
Okay.
it sometimes could be a mental thing with them. Then it can be a physical thing. They're just more comfortable. Probably like a right-handed right-handed player or right
Okay.
leg, you know, a player that plays with a right leg, left leg. It's
Sure.
that kind of a tendency, and if they're more comfortable going one way or the other, it can definitely make a difference to their performance.
And can a trainer help coach that out of them, or is it something that's very, very, very much in them?
Yeah, you work around them,
Okay.
and you try and train them. You know, you can alter the methods, maybe train them going to one way, but generally, if it's a physical thing, it's hard to get that out, and we just kind of change equipment,
Okay.
try and balance it out as best you can.
And as a jockey, if you were riding Gaelic Warrior, what would you do to try and mitigate that?
I think Paul Townend, they put a hood on him today. We've seen a number of horses there with hoods on there. If you get a look for the viewers, the horse in the fourth horse got a hood on here this morning. Number 18 there, Gaelic Warrior will be wearing that as well in the race. It's the first time
Yeah.
he's wore a hood, and there's a theory that he got very buzzed up at the Dublin Racing Festival, big day. Now, he's been to big days as well, but in particular the Dublin Racing Festival he did, and they're hoping the hood will make him relaxed and keep him relaxed, and that might just stop him doing what he does to his right, but it's
Okay.
a fine line between that
So-
and success and failure.
Okay, Fran, so we're looking here. So some of Gordon's are finished. Yeah, they're having a pick of grass, and then others are going for another little bit more exercise. So that they might be ones that are running a little bit later in the week, would they?
Exactly. If they're doing a second round, they're probably just horses running later in the week.
Okay.
Number of horses there, you can see the weather burning. It's not ideal, but
Yeah.
look how relaxed they are,
Yeah.
most of them.
So they'll have a little pick of grass now, and that's kind of part of the warm down, is it?
Exactly. Just like a warm down, mentally unwind for them. They'll have a nice walk back to the stable yard up the hill. Probably guts a half a mile walking back, and just lets them cool down, and they'll get back into the stable. They'll be dried off and rubbed up again.
And you were saying yesterday they eat kind of nuts and hay in the stable.
Yeah, and that would have been brought over with the horses. They all like trainers use their certain brands of nuts, and they'll stick with that no matter
Okay.
where the horse goes.
And then also to sleep on. Some of them sleep on straw, some sleep on paper. Different depends on what the horse likes himself. Yeah.
Very much so, and
Horse,
some trainers have their preferences, but it's down to individual horse as well. Straw is very popular. Paper, if they've got allergies to dust, maybe
Yeah.
on paper and that, and obviously sawdust as well. Shavings is there as well.
Okay, brilliant. So this is Gordon's going back over now. So we're live on TikTok on Cheltenham Racecourse. The morning gallops, the pre-exercise before the big day starts. What time's the first race?
First race 1:30 today kicks
Yeah.
off that Supreme Novice Hurl.
So Fran, we're looking at the rain. We said the ground is soft. What's the worst ground you've ever raced on?
In Ireland, I would say Galway races one day, the September meeting there. It's always a good flat card, and rain like this was torrential on the day, but it just got worse and worse. And literally, Galway with the uphill, downhill run into the straight, there was water pooling at the bottom of the dip, and unfortunately halfway through the car we abandoned it. It just got to a stage where it's nearly a river, so that was as bad as it got. Yeah.
And yesterday we were in the weigh room with Michael O'Sullivan. He brought me through his kit bag, and he had 3 pairs of goggles. And so on a day like today, obviously there'll be probably a bit of muck flying, specks of dirt, specks of dirt. So the jockeys would wear 2 or 3 pairs of goggles and take one off during the race, or just pull one up and over their hat. Yeah.
Exactly. You'll jump off with the 3 goggles, and just as needs be, you'll take them down when they run out of them, basically. And you're hoping that you got enough goggles to get you to the finish. On a day like today, you got to balance the dirt as well as the fog up.
Yeah.
So that's an issue as well.
And have you ever had to, in bad weather, take off the goggles altogether?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And just go.
Yeah, just go.
Really?
Just go.
Okay.
And not ideal. Not ideal. You hope you're in front when that happens.
Fair enough.
Were you surprised with the equipment? Jockey's
Yeah,
equipment?
a lot of it, a big bag.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
he was explaining, so they hire a person called a valet. And what does the valet do for you?
He basically organises your equipment for you. If you've got 5 or 6 rides through a day, he'll have your saddles organised. He'll have your colours. Obviously, each individual owner's got different colours, so it's
brilliant.
a
You've
different
got a-
kind of setup. Yeah.
A couple of men here are very
Yep.
excited.
Nice. Hello. How are you now?
How you doing?
Lads?
How's it going,
Yeah,
Neil? All
all
right?
good. Yeah.
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
how are you?
How are you doing, all right?
Pleasure. How are you, Neil? Yeah.
So lads, is your horse out in the gallop yet?
He's just out there now.
Okay.
White cap.
Right, okay. We might get a look at him over there. So see that horse over there, the white cap. So what's the name of the horse?
Eagle Fang.
Ian Fang.
Yeah.
Okay. And how are you feeling about it?
Look, we're hopeful he'll run a big race, but sure, look, these handicaps,
Yeah.
you could probably run them 5 times and get different results each time. But look, the conditions are good. In fairness, Gary has the horse spot on.
Okay.
So all we can do is participate and see what happens.
Brilliant.
You have a great history here at Cheltenham with your family over the years.
Yeah, it's a long time since we've had a runner in our own colours here, so it'll be a big day for the father and the family and the yard. Like we're small private yards, only 10 horses at home, so to be able to have a horse of this calibre to come here and be competitive, it's a day to look forward to.
And when did the horse come over?
We travelled over on Saturday, so it was smooth enough, and it's actually been good because it's given him a couple of days to sort of take in all the surroundings and get comfortable.
This horse is an interesting horse. He's an ex-flat horse you bought in the UK.
Yeah, Gary, in fairness, he picked him out.
A good friend of mine works for Keith Dalglish in England, and obviously he was giving up training, and he'd picked this fella out before he'd ran, and then obviously he ran the Haydock Maiden and finished third. He says you're going to have to give a lot more for him now than you wanted. And to be honest with you, I didn't like the horse the first morning I seen him.
Why do you say that? Just his looks or just his mentality?
Just a bit sluggish, and he pulled out of the box, and there was nothing really to like about him. And
Was he back in the yard at this stage? In your yard?
No.
No.
He was at sales, and
Gary, you'd been gone if
we
he was
had-
that quickly.
we had a bit of tussle that night and over dinner, and Decky says, you make sure you buy this horse. So I went down and I bought the horse, and the rest is obviously we're here now. It's great.
And he's had a he's took to jumping very well. Obviously being on the flat for TikTok viewers at home, it takes a bit of adjustment, and you got to train him how to jump, and he obviously likes it.
Yeah, look, we normally start loose schooling them. We've an indoor arena at home, and we normally start from the pole up like most people, and he went from the pole to the hurdle within 5 minutes, so we were quite happy. We knew he'd transform, and he seems to be enjoying it, and he's still a maiden on the flat as well, so look, it's kind of interesting too, you know.
And how do you feel about the ground?
I'm happy to see the rain. The more the better for my fella, because he's not the quickest in the world, and he probably wants a little bit further. In time he'd be a nicer horse. Today is obviously a stepping stone to where we want to be next year, and I think it'll slow others down, and he'll come up that hill, I'm pretty sure.
And Neil, how's the mind, how's the stomach, nerves?
I'm good. I'd say if you had to test a few of the other lads this morning, they might fail that test. Now look, you know what, it'll be exciting, and come 4:50, we'll see what the nerves are then. Up to that point, we just take it in and enjoy it. You know, it's good to be here.
And when you buy a horse like this, the dream is to get to Cheltenham.
Look, everybody dreams of having a horse that's of the calibre to go to Cheltenham. And in fairness, Gary, we can go down the route of buying in-store horses, but the time and the investment, if you only got 10, 12 horses, it's a lot of time and obviously money to put into it. So it's worked for us the last couple of years, picking horses off the train and sale. You can see them, check their soundness, you can look at their form, back form, and sort of get some sort of a feel for them. In fairness, Gary's been doing a lot of research on that with us, and we're only 10, as you say, so the number of darts we've got to throw at the boards this week are limited, so it's special.
And when you come out to Gallops and you've got your one horse, and William Mullins and Gordon have got 60 here, it's a bit daunting.
Look, yeah, it is. But
I'm not too worried,
yeah.
to be honest. Used to fear them, but sure, look, we're here, and I've faith in my lad, and you have to believe in your horse, and that's the way I look at it. They're only a number as well, so we keep going. We're not too worried, to be honest with you.
Well, listen, I think he'll let you go over and look after him. Best of luck today, and hopefully we see you.
We
see you later on.
Best of luck.
Right.
Yeah. Good to see you, Gary. Best of luck.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck.
Long time since I seen you rode Miller's Weir.
That's right.
We'll do this
Best
off.
of
We'll
luck.
take this
Pleasure.
off.
Remember him?
I do. Yeah, of course I do.
That's a lovely story, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
10 horses.
And that's the difference. With Cheltenham, you can see a small train operation like that to the huge operations like Gordon Elliott and Willie Mullins, and everybody's got a chance.
Yeah.
It's just finding the right horse.
So they were just explaining, just to ask a question there, Fran. They said, they've gone out of buying store horses and are starting to go to the horse and training sales and buying ones that are a little bit, I suppose, more forward, more ready to go. Is that something that's quite common, or is still a tendency for people to buy younger horses who are unbroken, who've never raced and take a chance on it?
It's a mixture of the two, and I can see why Neil Durkin is doing that, because at least they've got flat form.
Yeah.
They've showed that they can run, have
Sure.
a good level of ability. You're buying a store horse, it's totally untried. You could be 2 or 3 years down the line, and then may not run to his pedigree, may not be much good. So at least with the horse form to a good level on the flat, you have a chance of him transferring that form to the jumps.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right. Now,
So we're joined by...
other end of the scale, we got one of the leading trainers, of course, of the week. And Gordon, how are you? You well?
How are you?
Have a night.
Yeah, all good.
Good.
You're a busy man this morning.
Yeah.
How many are you out?
I think we've got about 23 or 4 out here this morning, so we have. So Yeah, look, it's plenty of rain, but look, good Irish weather, we won't complain.
It's going to suit a couple of your horses. Tiupa and Thursday would be one of your bigger runners through the week.
Yeah, look, he loved the ground. Horse and champion hurdle today. Delighted to see all the rain. Look, there's a few we won't like it and a few we will, but listen, it's a bit like everything. You know yourself, man.
So Gordon, it must be a massive. How many horses have you running all week?
We've around 50, you know, I'd say just over 50 running.
Okay.
We need to wait and see today what gets in on Thursday and Friday. But yeah, look, great to be here. Good buzz around the place. Obviously, we'd like to see the rain stopping for racing, but we won't complain about it at night time. Good, safe ground, and no one will be giving out.
And logistically managing getting all those horses, all those stable staff over here, huge operation.
Yeah, it is. But look, we're at it for years now, so we're well used to it. Cheltenham look after us very well, and you know, to have it down to a T, travelling all the horses over. So it's you know, when you're at it the whole time, it's just second nature.
Okay.
And Gordon, Bernard's been on the Gallops last 2 mornings. All the hard work is done with the horses, just getting them here and seeing how they've travelled and get a little bit of a blow into them in the mornings, limber them up for the day's racing.
Exactly, just get them out and stretch their legs just so nothing might tie up at home or in the stable or anything. But you know, the whole thing we'd be looking coming over, you don't need to do much over here. A lot of the work is done at home, you know, but the thing I'd be looking for to make sure a lot of the horses, you know, like brighter days ahead and all are eating and drinking. You know, that's the worry, you know, some of the young horses come over, they're not eating, not drinking. You know, that's where we're on the away game, you know, travelling over. But look, whatever it's to be will be.
Indeed, and on that, it's very important to do travel and acclimatise. Horses like the routine, like being at home.
Yeah, they do. But look, all their own staff are here. We've all our own feed, hay, water over here with them. So yeah, happy enough.
And Gordon, of course, Irish Point today in the Champion Hurl. He's an interesting horse. He proved that he's a high-class horse, winning at Aintree last year.
He is, Fran. Like, to be honest, he's won over 2 miles. He's won over 3. He won over 2.5 last year in Aintree. I couldn't be happier with the horse. He's in great nick. I'm glad to see the bit of rain. I'm very happy with him. Look, at State Man is a worthy favourite, but look, you should never be afraid of one horse, and I'm delighted to be taking him on.
And rest of the day, of course, the Goffer ran a cracker last year in the same race.
He did. It doesn't look as strong as the race as last year, but I would be a bit nervous at the ground. Just if he handles that real soft ground would be a worry. You know, I suppose him and Salvador or Sige would be worried with the ground today, and the rest of them would be okay.
Gordon, you've had huge success here over the years. Does it get any easier? Pressure, nerves, excitement?
I pressure. I don't really do pressure. I'm pretty laid back. Look, I was awake at 5 o'clock this morning. I suppose that was. You know, I was up drinking tea, going through the declarations. You would be, I suppose, a little bit anxious just to get going. But I don't really get pressure. Doesn't really, you know, bother me. But you know, you just get anxious and want to get going, and you know, want all the horses to be okay and all the owners have a good time. You just be nervous for that.
So we're live on TikTok for some non-racing fans. Declarations. You have to declare horses for Thursday, Friday, is it? Or?
We've Thursday today before 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So Alex, my secretary, would she'd probably ring me at 9. We'll go through them, and then we'll go back through them at 9:45 again, and then 5 to 10 when it's Cheltenham, just in case there's any mistakes made. Yeah, in case there's any mistakes. But no, look, everything works with clockwork. But even coming over with the horses, you know, we could actually come a day earlier when we're coming to the UK for Cheltenham. You know, normally it's 2 days going to England. But I do 3 for Cheltenham because you'd just be a bit nervous if you miss the boat. If it's a smaller track, it's not the end of the world. But I wouldn't like to be ringing someone saying we didn't get here because we left it late. You know, with the weather, you just don't know. Don
Cossack gave you a great day when winning the Gold Cup.
He did give me a good day, Fran. Yeah. Look, I've had plenty of good days here in Cheltenham over the years. Don Cossack, I suppose, is the day I'll never forget. But you know, just coming here, even as a young fella, you know, we myself and yourself travel
together.
We shared rooms a few times together. We'd great times here. It's a great place, and just great to be back here. And you see all the Irish going around the place. It's unbelievable.
Jerry Colom runs in that race. He won't mind conditions. He keeps ready for the week. It'll suit him.
To be honest, I'd love to see it drying out.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Everyone, you know, he's a little bit tired. Has been a bit of a mudlover, but and maybe he is. But I actually think his best run was Aintree last year, and being ice ground. So I'm hoping that it might dry out. But this place, like, to be honest, lads, it's supposed to stop at 12 o'clock today. You could have a different sort of ground tomorrow.
Really?
You know, in 24 hours it dries out like mad. So yeah, hopefully. I'm hoping it dries for Friday, but it's wet for Thursday. Okay, so yeah. You know,
you want it all.
I want everything, but unfortunately, that's just I'm a little bit greedy that way. Yeah.
It served you well so far. So listen, very best of luck, and thanks for chatting to us.
Thanks, Dad. See you later.
Thanks, Gordon. Best of luck for the week. Thank you. Yeah, great to catch up with Gordon there, Bernard. You can see everybody just wants to get on with it, don't they? I think that's the running team.
I know it's funny, he deals with pressure well, but still he wakes up at 5 o'clock because it is different, isn't it? It's not like a normal race day, and as he said, he's been coming here a long time, and he's now one of the most powerful teams coming here, hasn't he? In
And
terms of horses, in terms of quality as well.
And for people at home, like Gordon came from a non-racing
Yeah.
background, totally self-taught. He started with one horse effectively, and look at him now. So it's a great story, and I'm sure
He was an amateur rider, wasn't he?
he was, yeah. And my first time coming to Cheltenham, my dad was trading. I went over to the horse. Gordon Elliott was his first time at Cheltenham. We ended up sharing a room together.
wow.
We're kind of friends since then, and it's good times. Yeah, probably 25 years ago now, but good times, and we've stayed, close friends throughout. It's amazing when you do meet people at stages
Of course,
like how these things stick.
And you bump into each other at Cheltenham and lots of race courses around
exactly,
the country.
Exactly, yeah. It's a travelling circus, really, racing.
So it's gone a little bit quieter now because obviously Gordon's team have gone down, but obviously the Willie Mullins bandwagon will be coming soon with another 20 minutes or so.
I'd expect it to go and come over the hill probably about 8:15. Willie's first string, and obviously on to the second day as well, second lot of runners. So it's a little bit quieter now. There'll be a change over lots. Gordon's crew will probably go in, change tack, put them on to the next batch of horses, come back out then as well.
Yeah. So Fran, I'm always fascinated about the jockey instructions, just before the race. But surely that would be happening for a big day like today, a little bit further out,
Yeah, I think the trainer and jockey, if they've got a good relationship, they'll have spoken about it, they'll have it in their head, because when you get into that parade ring today, owners are excited, everybody's antsy, and you need a clear thought process, if you like. But the interesting thing is, I always found the last thing a trainer owner says to you when you get a leg up on a horse is the thing that sticks in your head. So if they say something negative or something, can often knock you off kilter. So it's a real... there's a physical element to it, but there's a big mental element to it as well.
So what's the best bit of advice you got going out from a trainer?
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Same in rugby. Same in rugby. Andy Farrell. It's all about enjoying yourself, being yourself, and embrace it.
Just remember why you got into it, didn't
Yeah.
it? Like, the pressure's there. Okay, there's huge prize money, everything's going on, but why did you get into it? Why did you start kicking the ball? Why did you start riding a pony? It was a dream, wasn't it? So go out like it's that.
So we were talking about owners and trainers, obviously Cheltenham being a huge thing, but for jockeys as well. I know a couple of jockeys who would love to be here, but they're riding other tracks today. You know what I mean? That must be hard.
It is hard looking on, hard looking on, and hard also if you're riding a horse or two that maybe are the outsiders of the field, you're looking on from behind. And I found through my riding career, if you had a big success at a big festival, when you go back a year later and you're not competitive, that's when you realise how hard it was to win at a meeting like this.
Yeah, you do really appreciate it.
You don't. It passed you by somewhat in racing at the time because you're on to the next race, you're going to a different track the next day. But a year on, when you're not there or you're making up the numbers, that's when it hits home how big a deal it was.
And it's a tough game for jockeys. I mean, some of them could be equally as talented as some of the fellas riding today, but injuries or maybe just a bad career choice can just stall that progression, can't it?
And you need a bit of luck. Some jockeys made careers through another jockey, as you said, getting injured. You can pick up a ride in a day. Something might go through wrong through the week. You pick up a ride that goes and wins.
Could change your life.
Change your career. Yeah, just set you up, and it's amazing if luck is with you. And there is a lot of luck involved in racing, like any sport.
Yeah. So we're going to be here live on TikTok every morning here for the rest of the week. Hopefully a little bit better weather tomorrow.
Hopefully weather improves as well. But five to follow us up on TikTok as well. We've spoken about that. I do think the ground is going to help a number of the horses that I like burning. So hoping that with the rain arriving, it won't inconvenience the 5 horses that I do like here today.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Gordon is very happy with the ground and the rain for Irish Point, isn't it? Which runs the champion hurdle today.
Yeah. And that's the thing with him, you see, he's a horse dropping down in distance, and he obviously handles testing ground well. I think Gordon's theory would be that he will bring stamina to the forte. If it becomes a real test, real slog, the fact he stays very well, that could bring out the best in him.
So the champion hurdle is 2 miles. And Irish Point has ran over further.
Yeah.
And then obviously is the thought process that the heavy ground will make it more of a stamina test.
Exactly.
So that pure speed that some of the others maybe have, State Man, etc., would be less prevalent.
Exactly, and it might just in the final 300 metres really come down to stamina, and a horse with that kind of reserves, if he can hold his position early on, he may well be out of his comfort zone a little bit initially, but once stamina comes into play, you'll see him making up the ground. Theory is that he'll finish well against the hill.
Okay, very interesting.
Question from TikTok, will Stateman like the ground here today? I think it won't be a problem for him. Willie Mullins trains his horses on a deep gallop, and there will be running theory this week. Obviously with Willie's horses, they're all high profile anyway, but they should be well attuned to running on testing ground like today. So for Stateman, I don't think it will be an issue, but it will bring a different perspective to the race for him in comparison to what would be on good ground over 2 miles.
And obviously Stateman is hot favourite because he's beaten most of these horses already this year. He's had a phenomenal year, but it's not unusual to see, results change. A horse that was third, maybe pushing forward, and would that be a little bit fitter? Would it be ground or tactics or?
And it's a peaking thing as well. You got to bring horses to their peak. So like Willie Mullen's program is win at Christmas, run at Dublin Racing Festival in February, Cheltenham, you're at your peak. That's kind of like the way it goes. So it's a bit like you in the Rugby World Cup.
Sure.
Ireland did it peak too early this year's World Cup, or
possibly.
Do teams peak too soon in the competition?
Well, certainly that's the plan. The plan is to peak on the final day.
Yeah.
And obviously you got to get to the final to really bring the permission. Exactly. Yeah. But you wouldn't be far off it now in the quarter final. But they do leave a little bit there, and everything is micromanaged to the last degree, and it seems the exact same with racehorses.
Indeed, it is, and that is the thing that the trainer. True experience. It's a learning curve for them as well. Initially, in the first 5-6 years of their training career, see what works, get your system in place. And Gordon Elliott, William Mullins, people here today, they've it down to fine art.
And that must be great. Give great confidence to the owners that those trainers have been here before, won before. They know exactly how to travel, how to train them to be ready on the day. And then for the other trainers like Gary. It's to prove that. You know what I mean? Exactly. And he's very confident, I really look forward to seeing his horse run now.
Indeed, and you can see what it means to them. But they're very, very happy with their horse. They're very confident in their own abilities and their horse ability. And it was really good to catch up with somebody at the different end of the scale, if you like, to the bigger stables.
Absolutely.
That is day one at Cheltenham, of course, Bernard. We're going to look forward to all the action through the day. What are you most looking forward to today?
I look forward to Champion Hurdle. I like the big races, and obviously Constitution Hill is out, but Stateman for me this year has been phenomenal, and I'd love to see him confirm his real class and win a Champion Hurdle. So, I'm looking forward to now seeing some of the smaller men as well, and just embracing and seeing what stories we're talking about tomorrow. For me, people follow people, but people also follow horses and their stories, and I'm looking forward to seeing the action now.
And that big kick-off half-one, the first race as well, that roar, Bernard, when the tapes go up and the horse jump off, it's hard to...
It's famous, and I think that's why I always come on a Tuesday, just to get that, because I was always been envious watching on TV, so I'm buzzing for that.
Great job. Listen, Bernard is with me again here tomorrow. We'll be back on TikTok Live, day 2 of the Cheltenham Festival. Hope you have plenty of luck, though, on day 1. The weather dries up. Should be a fantastic day's racing.